AICE International History Unit 1.1. Why did the US emerge as a world power, and what were the implications internationally? The US was focused on itself, its land, its conflicts, and its growth. Foreign involvement was avoided and isolation was the normal. But that mindset was slowly reshaped by expansion. Land was continuously acquired across the continent through purchases, treaties, and war. This expansion was called manifest destiny. It was believed that this growth was inevitable, even justified as a way to spread American values. Over time, this belief was normalized, expansion as something necessary, not optional. At the same time, a boundary was set. Outside powers were warned to stay out of the Americas. This was established in the Monroe Doctrine. Eventually, expansionism hit a limit. The frontier was declared closed. This led to a drive to expand outwards. At the same time, industrial growth was accelerating, resources were plentiful and production increased, and the population was also rising. However, there was economic instability, making it clear that expansionism now had to be economic as well. Foreign markets became essential. Now onto the Spanish-American War. The conflict was driven by multiple forces: support for Cuban independence, economic interest in the region, and public opinion after it was believed Spain sank the USS Maine carrying American civilians. When the war came, it was quick, and its impact was massive. Territories were gained far beyond the continental United States, marking a clear transition into imperialism. Influence also extended up beyond direct control. In places like Cuba, independence was granted, but only in name. Now onto the Panama Canal, which became one of the most important examples of U.S. influence over the Americas. Support was given to local independence movement in order to secure land for the construction. Once completed, the canal transformed global trade routes. It allowed faster travel between the oceans, strengthening both economic power and military power reach. Control of this passage meant increased influence over international trade. At the same time, earlier policies were expanded through the Roosevelt Corollary. It was asserted that intervention in Latin America could be justified to maintain stability and protect economic interests. While it was framed as responsibility, it also consisted involvement in affairs of other nations. Influence in the region was no longer just predicted, it was actively enforced. Then came World War I that tested this new role. At first, neutrality was maintained. It aligned with past traditions and allowed economic benefits through trade. But this position became hard to sustain. Attacks on shipping and threats to national security increased pressure, making involvement seem necessary rather than optional. Entry into the war marked another turning point. The impact was immediate. Resources, troops, and financial support were provided, shifting the balance of the conflict. At the same time, the economy expanded through wartime production. The United States wasn't just participating, it was shaping the outcome. After the war, a new vision for global relations was proposed. Ideas for open diplomacy, reduced conflict, and international cooperation, known as the League of Nations, proposed by Woodrow Wilson in one of his 14 points. By the end of this transformation, the change was undeniable. A nation that had once avoided international involvement had become deeply embedded in it.